this water up here. I already got to piss like fucking sea biscuit. Shout out to Kansas City for getting rid of Andrew Dicker for us. No take backs. You touched him last. He's your fucking problem. Guys, I gotta share something with y'all. I saw the greatest thing the other day. It really, if you haven't seen it, put on your walking shoes, go on walkabout, scour the earth until you find it. I saw a deaf couple break up. I was at this party, I'm in the corner drinking aggressively, minding my own business, and my buddy, he's like, hey, dude, look. They're fighting. And I'm like, why are you whispering? They can't fucking hear you. But then I look a little closer and I realize he's right. It was fucking magic. They're making all these crazy sounds. They're doing all these aggressive hand signs. It was like a fucking wizard battle. It was ready for one of them to summon Lord Voldemort and kill us all. And then the girl does this one sign, and he's like, he couldn't believe it. And so I had to look it up. I had to know what it was. That's like the be-all, end-all insult of sign language. And so these other comics tonight, they're going to make you laugh, but I'm the only one that's going to teach you something, okay? You take both your hands, and you put them like this here, and then you go ahead, look at your neighbor and tell them, yeah, doesn't just look offensive. That means douchebag. Now you know, it's the only word in sign language I know, but it's my fucking favorite. So the other day I'm driving down 45, just minding my own business. I look out the window and I see this dude, he's just going crazy. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's wrong with him. And after a second I realized he is blatantly masturbating on the freeway in broad daylight. I was outraged. I was so pissed off. I was like, you can't do that. That's not safe. There's women and children out here. So I get behind him and I fucking honk the horn. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. And he rolls down his window and he just goes. And I'm like, that's the most appropriate and literal use of that gesture I've ever seen in my life. Like, you win, dude. And so I took a little time. I did some soul searching. I thought about it and I was like, why was I so mad? Why am I so offended by that? He didn't hurt me. He's just, doing his own thing in the car. And finally, I realized it was jealousy. I was jealous. I was like, you know what? I never thought of that. That seems like a great time. Like, why can't I do it? So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. On the way home from where I was going, boom, I whipped it out and started getting in the car, right? I understand you're all mad now, too, but that's also jealousy. You're all going to be off on the way home, I guarantee you. Every single one of you. So, of course, I got caught. I wasn't very sorry. There was a lady outside my window. I'm doing my thing. My window was down so I could hear her. And she's like, thanks for choosing Sonic. Oh, my God! Which, if you're at the 5-yard line and you need a touchdown, you don't stop. So I was like, did you put ketchup in the bag? I can't go to Sonic anymore, guys. So, guys, whenever you see a girl that's so hot, you get pissed off immediately. Like, you're just like broke neck, and then you're like, fuck, that's bullshit. I will never have that, ever. And I'm mad about it. A couple years ago, I actually managed to bag one of those. It was a majestic unicorn. It was my very first Asian. I didn't know what to expect. I was a little scared. I was like, kung fu hand job, fried cat nuts. No, nothing that bad. But she was like, I brought my vibrator. Do you mind if we play with it? And I'm like, oh, Asians rub a technology. Let's do it. So she gets this thing out. I'm expecting a little lucky lizard, a little pesky penguin. No, it's the King Kong Dong 9000. Whoa, you want me to compete with that? But luckily, she let me drive, and that was just kind of for the warm-up, and it did a great job. When I finally got around to it, she was wetter than the weather lately. And I get right to that moment where it's time to pop, and she whips that thing out like a samurai sword. She stabs me right in the gooch with it. And guys, I have never, if you don't know what a gooch is, the grundle, the taint, the question of the British. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah! That hard in my life. And in that moment, I masturbation between girls and guys. You guys have fucking these modern marvels of vaginal destruction. They've got like 8 buttons. This one vibrates, this one does this helicopter thing, and then this other button here makes you a taste of margarita. As a guy, I only have 3 options. I can use old righty, which believe me, we've explored that. We've been down the road there, clearly. Option number 2, I can buy my own King Dong 9000s, jam it up my ass, and hit the margarita button. But I'm pretty into pooping whenever I want to. We're gonna skip that. And option number 3, I can buy a rubber molded version of Jen Jameson's vagina. Which, the thing about it, if you buy that, you pretty much guarantee you're never ever going to see a real vagina ever again. And problem number 2, if I am going to buy a rubber vagina and make love to it, like, I don't want some holdout porn star that everyone else has had. I want some shit you don't see every day. Where's the Michele Obama rubber vagina? Show me the first lady line and we'll talk. I'll take a Reagan home, the lady bird, no big deal. So, I remember the first time I ever saw a vibrator. I was a young man and I was confused. I was in 8th grade, and it was one of those nights where you tell your parents that you're going to your friend's house for Bible study, and he tells his parents you're going to your house for Bible study, and then you both go to that one house where the mom's definitely on coke and no one cares what you do. And then you end up lying in a ditch half naked after you drank half a bottle of $12 whiskey, and you're like, this is it. This is how it ends. Who remembers? You guys might not remember, but your liver remembers. We've all been there. Well, I was so drunk. I was a sick little 8th grader, and he's like, dude, go to sleep. Go jump in my mom's bed. I'm like, all right, cool. I go curl up in his mom's bed. Who knows what I got from sleeping in that bed, guys? It was gross. But don't worry, I've been tested. Once. Like if you go because you know you have something, and then they test you to find out what it is, that counts as being tested, right? It's only been tested, shut up. Anyway, so I'm laying in this bed and I'm just too gone. And I got the spins. I'm like, I need something. I need Tylenol, I need Advil. So I just open the drawer next to me and I'm looking for something that looks, and there it is, the little twisty cap, and I know that thing, pop, you know? So I grab it and I'm like, yeah, whoa, it's the biggest penis I've ever seen. And so it scared me, it startled me, I dropped it. It hits the edge of the nightstand and it breaks. And I'm like, no. His mom's going to ask him who slept in here, he's going to tell him it was me, and she's going to all play with her dildo, she's going to broke it, and she's going to make me pay for it, and never going to be able to show my face here again, like my life is over. So I was like, I got to fix this thing. So poor drunk little 8th grade me is trying to get down here and reverse engineer this monster. No way in hell. I gave up. I just jammed all the pieces back in there and I shut the door. But luckily she never said anything. I guess she was embarrassed. So after that,
What is this thing?
I told my friend about it, and he was naturally mortified. And so after that, we'd be driving in the car, and I'd be like, hey man, you want to Taco Bell? And he's like, nah, I don't want to go to Taco Bell, I want to go to Jack in the Box. And then the guys in the backseat are like, yeah, we want to Jack in the Box. And I'm like, hey, you remember that time I found your mom's giant? He's like, that's right, I found the sex toy, so I have the power. So that started a little hobby for me that I still do to this day. If you leave me alone in your house for any amount of time, we're going to play Find the Vibrator. And I have a lot of friends here that I actually hang out in real life, and I see them, they're like, did you really find my vibrator? Yeah, I totally did. Yours is blue, yours is pink. Michele, I'm not even telling anybody what yours is. That's fucking weird. But I love that game because I always win. At this point, I'm convinced there's a vibrator in every American household. So guys, I have a poll for you. A little social experiment. By a show of hands, who has ever done drugs?
Oh yeah!
Yeah!
Oh yeah!
Shame on all of you, you're horrible people. I'm going to share with you a coming-of-age tale about the first time I ever did drugs. I did some research. I wanted to do it right. Didn't want to fuck it up. So I read about this magic drug called Ambien. You eat it, and if you can manage to stay awake, you feel great, but it puts everyone to sleep. Well, I read about this other magic drug called Adderall, and that keeps you right up. So I was like, all right, we should take them both at the same time. Ha, we're good, right? Wrong. Never do it. Ever. He's done it. I see you. You've done it. So I was with my girlfriend at the time. We were both 16 in the day, very deeply in love, like young relationships tend to be. We were going to the Nine Inch Nails concert. I walk in to the Academy beforehand to get some new shoes, because that's what you do when you're going to a concert. On the way in, I take my pills. On the way out, she takes her pills. We get to Subway. I'm standing in line. I'm telling that bitch she better toast that sandwich, but not too toasted. Burn it, I'm not buying it. And so I'm standing here, and all of a sudden the sneeze guard goes, "Are you?" So I play it cool. I just go, "Fuck!" I get to the end. I don't know what's on this sandwich. I hand her a random dollar. I don't even know what it was. She gives me money back. It looked like Monopoly money. I'm walking back to the table. I have my new shoes on. You know when you have new shoes, you have that nice springy feeling? It was amplified by like 30. So I like go again, walking around this Subway. We get in the car. I sit in my seat, and my steering wheel is a perfect square. And I'm like, maybe I should drive. Well, she took hers on the way out of Academy, so she's still good, right? So I'm like, here, you drive. So we're doing our thing. I'm spacing out in the passenger seat, and all of a sudden she goes, "They're trying to get us." Who's trying to get us? The other cars. Well, at that moment, a white Mustang, boom, books it by us. I drive a white Camaro, and she goes, "White car, he's on our team." Boom! She hauls ass and jumps on this dude. He thinks we want to race, of course, so he's like, "Fuck it," and he drives. So she's like, "We can't lose him," so we're doing a $1.20 on the freeway, seeing the back of shit, just trying to get to the Nine Inch Nails show. Like, I'm lucky to be alive, guys. So we get to the show, I sit down, and she's kind of spacing out, and immediately, as soon as my butt touches the seat, I'm out. I slept through the whole fucking thing. It was a bad fail.
I'm sorry.
It was a good time, though. Well, guys, I want to thank y'all for being the best audience I've ever performed in front of.